Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your June 2025 general reading. So, this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, any sign you like, any placement you like in Taurus, you're very welcome here. Okay, so this month we are going to be using we're going to be pulling a card from the Oracle of Victorian Symbols and Gothic Tales. And we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Pocket Tarot Edition. Okay, so that's that there. I was feeling like in a bit of a tin mood. So, Taurus, let's get stuck into this, shall we? We're going to put that there just now. So we've got this nice space here. So let's see. So, how was your birthday month? How was your birthday season? Do let me know in the comments. I had a glorious time. I spoiled myself and I was spoiled, which was lovely. And I was able to spoil other people as well with my half price sale, right, which I've just popped over. Closed doors. Right, okay, so I feel like that I am immediately drawn to this full moon here, okay, and the fact that it's closed doors. So it means to me that the month of June, there is going to be times where you're going to be literally closing doors on chapters, and it's very apt because we've just had your birthday. So you're closing the door in one age, 1 year, and then entering into a new one. But I feel like it is a bit more depth to it than that. And in readings that I've been doing for fellow Tauruses or Taurus placements, there's this sense of, do you know what? Enough is enough. This time is my time. That's what it's kind of coming across like. And there's this sort of I just give no F's anymore. It's like there's been this period of gestation, or just kind of in a certain mindset or state, and it's time to shift. Could be the fact that we have only got a few more weeks or so of Uranus being in Taurus, for a short time. Then he's coming back again, but just for a short time, then get into Gemini properly. And I feel like that's very much that kind of closing the door on who you were, Taurus. Closing the door because there is no longer there's no more stuff to excavate. Now it feels like the stuff that you have needed to excavate, even the stuff that you didn't realise was there to be excavated, you've reached the core. You've reached the core of who you are, you've reached the core of situations, and you've made some hard choices. You've made some hard decisions, in the fact that actually people, the people you thought were in your corner, well, they maybe weren't there. And it's a hard thing to learn. It's a hard lesson to learn. However, I truly believe that these doors have closed in order for new ones to open. Yes, it's a bit of a cliche, Taurus. I am sorry. Incidentally, this deck was created by a Taurus, Maria Alves Hernando, who is my birthday twin. And if you don't follow her, please go and give her a follow. She is the Sibyl's Tarot online, and she's marvellous. So, let's get into your reading properly, Taurus. So I don't know if you've seen the community post coming up there a few days ago, but I'm struggling with my throat. You will know what that feels like. So if I kind of pause, it's because I'm taking a drink off camera. One of the perils of basically talking for a living, isn't it? So I've been taking my hot honey drinks and soothing my throat as much as possible, and only speaking when I absolutely have to. Okay, so let's see. Cards for Taurus for June 2025, please. Oh, it was flipped. Right, we're going to take the world. We like that. We're going to put that up there. Right, these cards. Okay, we have got the Five of Wands, Six of Cups, the Devil, the Ace of Swords, Daughter of Cups, which is a Page of Cups, the Moon, nice, the Tower, Son of Pentacles, which is the Knight, and the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, we do like this, don't we? Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have got the Eight of Pentacles. So just going to leave that there. All right, Taurus, what is going on? Let's have a wee look see at this and see what we've got going on, right? I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to turn that there. This is one of the lovely things I treated myself to. It's a beautiful crystal. Absolutely love it. So tactile. So I thought I would show off. Right. The words that are coming straight through to me, right, as I'm looking at these cards, is listen to your heart. It's not the song that's singing in my head, thankfully, but that is what is coming through to me. Listen to your heart, because there is, you know, going on from that closed doors card, that card that jumped out, the World, and it's very clear why the heart is coming so forward, so, you know, it's making itself known. We've got the Moon, we have got the Tower, right? So that's very much opposite ends of the, you know, of the scale. You know, the Tower is very masculine, it's very, it's Mars energy. The Moon is Pisces energy. It's very much that kind of a feminine, you know, and it's like, but at the heart of the spread here, we have got the Daughter of Cups. And that Page of Cups is really that sort of I sort of see it sometimes as that wide-eyed innocence. But in your case, Taurus, it's very much that I've been round the block a few times. I understand what it is I want. I'm closing the door on things I no longer want. I'm no longer prepared to put up with. I'm no longer prepared to accept in my pursuit for what it is that I desire. Okay? That's the words that are coming through, because it's like this, see this conflict for the Five of Wands, what that feels like is that's where you've been. And it's like, do you know what? I am no longer doing that. I am not doing it, because the conflict I feel for a lot of you has came about because you're trying to please everybody else, you know. And even if you can't think of a specific person that you're trying to please, or a specific group of people, maybe family, friends, it feels like there's been this kind of a need to please society at large, you know, so that, you know, you can look at yourself and you can be like, oh well, I mean, I conform to societal norms, you know, and I'm doing this correctly. Because we do put a great deal of pressure on ourselves, you know, humans in general. We don't necessarily like to put our head above the parapet and count to be an individual. You know, I mean, a great many of us do. You know, we set the tone of different experiences. But I think that on the whole, it's more comfortable to be within the crowd. Unfortunately, Taurus, just by the very nature of the sign, the physicality, whether it's the physicality or just the general energy, people are going to notice you. And I don't mean that if if you're maybe like tall, like myself, I'm pretty tall, or there's like something significantly different about you as opposed to like other people. It's just that people notices. We can't make a quiet entrance as much as we try to. Yes, I have been there as well, Taurus, trying to make a quiet entry. It doesn't work. In fact, the quieter an entry I try to make, the louder I end up being. Because who knew? But I'm pretty clumsy. Didn't realise that. But as I say, this energy is it's that kind of initiatory energy, because we've got the Ace of Swords, we have got the Daughter of Cups, which is it isn't the Ace of Cups, okay, and that's what I mean by that. It's almost like your second time round the block, or your second go at something, your second go at trying something new. That doesn't necessarily make sense, but that's sort of what it is. It's like you've been here before, you learnt lessons, you travelled through the journey, and now you find yourself back at the beginning, but it's not quite the beginning because you've got experience. It's a bit like, so say you, like when you first left university or school or whatever, and you went and did your first job, and you were a trainee, and you mastered that, and you built yourself up to a certain position. And then you went and applied for a job in another company, other organisation. And it was the same type of job that you did, but it was different because it was in a different organisation. So this is what this is like. It's like it's not the Ace of Cups, because you've already had this heartfelt experience, but now through a process, and I know a lot of you have really struggled relationship wise over the last few years. There's been some challenges, but now there's this potential opportunity to open yourself up to something new, and whilst it's new, you still get experience. But the Ace of Swords here is saying, look, yes, there's experience, but it's not necessarily going to be like the past. We've got this Six of Cups. Could be a Scorpio you're interested in. Six of Cups is a card of Scorpio. One could argue that the Tower's a card of Scorpio. What else have we got? We've got a Devil, so that's Capricorn. The Moon, as I said, is Pisces. Son of Pentacles is Virgo. But I mean, don't go with signs with this regard. That's another Virgo. It's up to you as an individual. It's you kind of being like that signet. It's a baby swan, so it's like that signet in the newness, and you're just wondering, right, okay, what's going to happen? Where am I going to swim to? What sort of joy am I looking for? The Devil, it feels like it's there to give you the choice, Taurus. And I will say this, till I'm blue in the face, the Devil doesn't represent anything evil. The Devil represents choice. And the choices are not always considered good, but they may feel good at the time. So, of course, the Devil talks about addictions, etc. But in this context, it feels very much where it's like let's have a bit of fun. Let's have a bit of eyebrow raising fun. And I think that is something that's coming through quite clearly. The Moon there is obviously there to just caution us and remind us that we can only see what's in the spotlight. But it's it's time for you, Taurus. You know, it's time for you to just be you. You know, just have fun. Why are you punishing yourself, Taurus? You know, why are you deliberately, it feels like you're deliberately sabotaging yourself, you know. Yes, previous experiences have taught you certain lessons, but not everything's the same. You know, it's time to, you are aware of the world at large, you are aware of what's going on. It doesn't have to be the same. You just take your time, like the Sun or Knight of Pentacles, you know, take your time. Sometimes it's like if we take any more time, it'll be like, you know, we'll be going backwards. Some people are going that slow, they're going backwards. However, you know, small deliberate steps in the direction that you want to go. And see, if you don't know the direction you want to go, that's fine as well, Taurus. You know, just go with what you feel is right. Check in every so often with your intuition, you know, ask yourself, is this the right thing for me to do? Yes, it is. The Eight of Pentacles there at the bottom of the deck, it feels like, you know, you have worked so hard. And many of you have basically, you know, it was just like your life, particularly your emotional life, it felt like a jumbled web. And there could have been lies in there as well, you know, maybe lies other people told you, lies that you've told yourself, but you've unravelled it all, you know, and you've got this lovely, neat web, if you like, you know, or whatever your web is. And once you decide what it is, it's like, go for it. Am I saying it's going to be all sunshine and unicorns? Absolutely not. But you don't want that. You know, it's like, it's just this time for a new adventure. Stop punishing yourself. Please, Taurus, stop punishing yourself. And just like everybody else, you deserve to be loved. Okay? You need to try your best to understand that you deserve love. Okay, Taurus. So that is what I have for you. That Nine of Pentacles. Yes, it's independent energy and you can protect yourself, but these are being protected by feathers. So the right people can find a way through. Final thoughts, final words. Okay, so have a beautiful June and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.